Hey everyone. A little bit different of a thing that I normally do. Normally I would do a live stream on this or something or other, but I just really wanted to make a video. So if you have not heard, um, there was some controversy going around on Twitter yesterday and today, and I believe a little bit even Thursday. But essentially speaking, what was going on was that the YouTube verification policy was receiving a change. If you don't know what that means, if you ever looked at some of the creators, especially some of the bigger ones, you will notice that there is a little check mark next to their name. You earn this check mark whenever you reach over 100,000 subscribers. And they were going to take that away from many creators that have already earned this. I mean, this is reaching from creators who just have 100,000 subs to creators that have several million subscribers. And they took to Twitter and rioted very fiercely. Now, the reason that they did this was not only were they getting their check marks taken away, these check marks were only going to apply to big celebrities or big companies. And many people were rightfully upset about this. And I understand why. And many people have already said their thoughts on the matter. However, I kind of went a little overboard here because I wanted to give my opinion on it, but I didn't just want to do a live stream because this is a very niche thing that only is going to affect a few people. So I'm going to go ahead. Screen. So just to show you what all I went through today, I wrote a I wrote this whole big script. I wrote all this stuff. I did all this research into verification and the history of it and what that means to people's brands, what that means to people's things. I had it recorded. I started editing it. I put it out on timeline. I did all this work, and I even mentioned that there was an update coming, and it was an update coming soon. I miscalculated on how soon it was coming, because as I was in the middle of editing this video, the CEO of YouTube, Susan, I'm not going to try to pronounce that because I'm going to get it wrong, has go ahead and released two different updates on this. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I'm doing this right. So here we go. Update 1. We have heard you loud and clear on how much the badge means to you. Channels that currently have verification will now keep it without appeal. And that was kind of a big chunk of my video gone. I was mentioning how unfair it was for many creators who have already gotten this verification to not be grandfathered in. So boom, like 20% of my video was useless, and I was like, okay, if it was just that, I could still keep going. I could still mention my idea. I could still talk about this. But then update 2 occurred. Like in the past, they went ahead and they clarified what verification meant in the future. Update 2. Like in the past, channels that reach 100,000 subs will be eligible to apply for verification. To better clarify how channels will qualify, we've updated the eligibility criteria here, and they've provided a little graphic, and they linked to a YouTube article that is here. Essentially speaking, what means now is the first step to becoming verified on YouTube is to reach 100,000 subscribers. I argued in my video this wasn't super difficult anymore, and I even pointed out why I haven't reached 100,000 subscribers. And I did like this little bit and everything and blah, blah, blah. But once you reach 100,000, you go ahead and you authenticate and complete this form. You prove that you are the brand that you say you are, and you complete public and you announce that you are, or you prove that you are an complete public and active channel. Now, they've got all this stuff here, and they mention what all that means. And essentially, the big thing that they wanted to show off is that they've now updated the graphics. YouTube creators and YouTube artists will no longer have the little check mark, but instead they will have this banner. Now, my main point, and when I say I've solved the problem and that I fixed it, I know what YouTube should do if they want to go ahead and make everybody happy. Is it was focused around this idea right here. See, what YouTube wants to start doing is they want to start appealing to big companies and actual celebrities. People like Will Smith, Jack Black, all those people who are already well established that want to come to YouTube, they essentially want to give them special treatment. This will encourage more big names to come to the platform. That means more money for YouTube, more blah, 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 blah. You guys understand. This is really all about money and attracting big names. Now, my proposition was to keep the check mark or to keep this gray background thing. Make that available to everyone who has still reached 100,000 subscribers. This is an achievement. It's meant to serve as a badge of honor to those who have gotten over that hump. It is, like I said earlier, it's easy to do. It is and it isn't. But you should still get some kind of acknowledgement that you reached it. It's wrong to take that away. My proposition was you can still do this and approach big companies and give them special treatment. All you have to do to make it different was to make the background for big celebrities and big companies, instead of making it gray or whatever color this is, make it gold. There you go. That's all you have to do. Make it a gold background or some other different color, and you can go, and with doing that, you've solved the problem. Companies still get treated special, they still stand out, and you can even change the language if you want. For example here, they keep calling it verified, and I figured that, in my head, that was kind of the problem that YouTube is trying to address. Verification, or at least the reason that they're using it for, was a method in order to, like, combat fakes. If you ever watched a PewDiePie or a Markiplier video, I'm using them as examples, but if you scroll down in the comments, once in a while you will see an imitation channel saying like, "Hey guys, I'm Markiplier and I'm giving away $10,000 to the person who clicks this link." And a bunch of impressionable children will click on that either to get money or to, like, get, maybe there's like a meetup or something that this fake account has promised. Either way, not only are they trying to, give special treatment to these people, but they're also trying to, combat fake accounts like that. And I figured the gold method was best to do that. Not only could, they could keep the gray background and acknowledge the individual creators, they've got this special thing going on. But I also proposed another thing in the video. I proposed that the gold standard should be available to anyone who has reached a big milestone. Now, typically the 1 million subscriber mark is the big milestone you should reach, but I said even push it further than that. Push it to maybe like 3 million or 5 million. And if you reach that number, and if you can prove that your brand is active and that your community is supportive enough to do that, then you can upgrade to the gold banner. I even said it should be something called like like before this whole thing rolls out, they should call it like the YouTube Gold Rush. And with doing that, you could have gone ahead and like built hype for this. The idea behind this is whenever a company does this and they make big moves, you should always try to spin it in a way that this is a positive change. And the way YouTube does this is never seems like a positive change. It always seems like a punishment to everybody. And I suggested in this video that I was making that this big change should have been like a big hype. They should have messaged their biggest creators, and I mean like all of them. I mean, like, go ahead and do an everybody is here thing. Like, send it to Markiplier, send it to Jake Paul, Logan Paul, send it to Game Theory, send it to all those big names, and say, if you want that gold standard, then you need to participate in the gold rush, and you need to have your audience prove that you are like a celebrity. You are someone worth validating with this gold marking. And that is the verified status. I suggest keep the gray one and call it like the achievement status, but then use the gold one as the verified status. And that would have solved everything. You wouldn't have had to have done all the extra work that they were going to do, because originally the stupid idea that they had was, hey, you need to send us an email that says who you are, what you do, what your brand is, all that stuff, and then you can have verified status. I said, no, just keep that, and if you want like something special, then you gotta earn it. And that was essentially this whole video. I threw in my own little skits and jokes and all that stuff, but that was kind of it. So my question is to you guys: did this matter? Was it a big enough deal? Was I stupid for trying to jump on this? Because every drama channel and every news source have already jumped on it, and I thought I had a good idea. Do you think this is good? Do you think it's not? But I was just once that tweet dropped, I just yeah, I kind of lost all hope in the matter, and that was really my big thing. I'm not disappointed. I'm glad that they acknowledged their mistake. Susan seems to legit be trying to smooth things over, and she did seem sincere, at least after the fact. To be honest, I wish people were contacted, because I do think YouTube could, have done something here to make this exciting and not cause another backlash, because once again, creators think that they're being abandoned and they got to raise a big stink about this in order to, stay relevant or, stay appreciated. So that's really all I have to say. I'd appreciate to know what you guys think of this. Do you think this is a good idea? But I think it's good. Anyway, Pokemon tomorrow. See you guys.